All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. This is week 2 for brand new realtors. So you just got into real estate and you're trying to figure out what the heck do I do? And I say that because I've had this conversation with a lot of new realtors, and there's something called uninformed optimism. So they get into the business and they see people doing all these great things on social media and they just think it's going to be easy. Well, what happens is after a certain point, they become informed and they realize that this is going to take hustle, strategy, grit, and a whole bunch of other things that you may not have known that you needed. So this is a series I'm doing, a 4-week series to give you guys some insight on some things you can do to set your business up so you launch well. So let's get into it, guys. All right, so this is week 2. If you haven't seen week 1, go ahead and check that video out. The biggest things in week 1 that we talked about was really mindset, right? So getting your mind ready for what you're about to do, because this is a business where you eat what you kill. And what I mean by that is if you don't work, you don't get paid. A lot of folks are going to be transitioning from full-time employment to this entrepreneurial line of work. And when you're in this entrepreneurial line of work, you have to fall in love with the process. So you have to get more accustomed to just doing and operating in faith, knowing that if you just do, the results, which in our case are leads and deals, will come. So that was the biggest thing, guys. So if you haven't gone back, go back and watch week 1 so you can get your mindset. So this is week 2, guys, and week 2 is really going to focus on building your network. So the first thing we're going to talk about is a database. Or once you get to a certain point, I love when people call it a data bank, right? But you're going to start building your database. And this was the first thing, luckily, I did. And it should be one of the first things that you guys should be doing. So how you're going to do this, a couple ways. You already have a database, and it's this thing. This thing. This is your database. Literally, this thing, guys. This is your database. So you're going to go through your phone and write down everyone that rents or owns, put them into a spreadsheet. That's going to be the first thing you do, okay? Next, I love to do this. Open up, I don't know about you Android folks, but if you're an Apple, if you're an iPhone person, right? Open up your mail app, open up your Gmail and type an A. Once you put A, guess what's going to happen? All the people that you've emailed whose names start with an A are going to populate. So one by one, I just took those people out and put them in a spreadsheet, A, B, C, D, E. Before you know it, you may have a couple of hundred people. And guess what? You're in business now. Because that's the biggest thing about real estate. Doing the transactions, I say it all the time, the transactions are easy. It's finding the people. And you already have the people in your phone, okay? So that's gonna be number 1. Number 2 is networking. Local people need to know that you're in real estate. So I want you to figure out what some of the local meetups are for local business people or people that, they work. They work in the area, and when they get off, this is where they go. So you need to figure out like local networking spots. Don't, trust me, and I don't know if the comments are going to blow up on this, but don't go running to the local real estate meetups with other real estate agents. Unfortunately, they're not going to give you business. They're literally not going to give you business, right? So that's more socializing, and there's a time and a place for that. But right now, the goal is to get you some business, right? Get some momentum going, because this is a game of momentum. So we got to get something going. Leases, purchases, we got to get something going, because that's going to spark your career, okay? So that's going to be number 2, networking. We got to figure out, where we're going to start the networking at. Number 3 is going to be one of my favorites, social media, guys. We're in a business where perception is reality, and you can use your social to help people perceive that you're much busier than you actually are. How do you ask? One way is open houses. When I first started, I was doing open houses every weekend, and I wasn't thinking about it, right? Because I was just going to work trying to find clients. But I got a message from someone, and they were like, man, Will, you're rolling. Like, you have all these listings. And I started to say, what do you mean I have all these listings? Like, these are for other people, but I didn't. I just said, thank you. And that's the key to this business. Perception is reality. So you're going to start by optimizing your, Instagram, your LinkedIn, like everything just needs to be synced, right? Instagram, Facebook, everything needs to look and feel the same. So your brand is consistent and cohesive on every platform. And then you're going to post. And here's the thing, guys, it doesn't have to be perfect. A lot of people want things to be perfect, but for me, I love being able to go back in and look at someone's profile and you see the growth. If you went to my profile on Instagram right now, guys, you'll see it changes over time. Even now, it's changing, right? Because I'm trying to figure out what works because the platforms are always changing. But Instagram, social media can be a very integral part of your success because it helps shape the appearance of your business. It helps shape like public opinion of you, perception of everything that you're doing. And we all know, again, perception is reality, especially in this business. Next and last thing, guys, is going to be cold outreach. Okay. And you can kind of start with warmish cold outreach. What I mean by that is we created this huge list of people. Some of those people you haven't spoken to in years. Some of those people know you as a different type of professional because we all did something before we got into real estate. So you can start to reach out to those people and really let them know wholeheartedly what you're trying to do and how you can support and help them. Also, I would suggest in terms of cold outreach, calling expireds, calling for sale by owners. There's so many different forms of lead generation. And here's what I'll tell you. Everything works. You just have to figure out what works for you. And you find that out by trying different things. So now, we're building something special here, guys. So week 1, we really talked about, your mindset. And then in week 2, we're starting to put pen to paper and really start to build out that network of people that you're going to start marketing to, because whether you like it or not, you're in a sales job. So you're going to have to talk to people. You're going to have to reach out to people. You're going to have to market yourself. You're going to have to be your number one fan. So if you found this interesting and valuable, go ahead and drop a follow, subscribe, and then we'll see you on the next video.